Hey, what's going on, weavers? Tim here again, and in today's episode we will be making an adjustable paracord mask ear saver. So we did a single piece ear saver a while back, but with this version it's adjustable so it can work for people of different sizes and proportions. We've even got a ranger bead knot on the back to keep everything cinched up. For those of you that have to wear masks for extended periods of time, this would be great. That being said, let's get into it. In terms of materials, I'm using 3 different colors, but of course you can use all the same or mix them up however you like. To start this one off, I've got one of my OD green strands, and I'm going to tie a diamond knot. With the midpoint up top, I'm going to make a counterclockwise loop with the right strand, laying it over the left. Bring the left side around to the right, go under the section under the loop. After forming the carex bend, bring the right side strand counterclockwise, past the base strand, and go through the middle. With the left, go counterclockwise, past the base strand, and go through the middle. Gather both strands and cinch up the diamond knot. After that, I'm going to cinch all the excess cord out from the top loop to the terminal ends as we're closing the loop up top. Ensure that you keep the amount of cord even on both sides so that both terminal ends are even. Next, I'm going to work with the terminal ends up top and measure out roughly a 4-inch section. Then I'm going to bring the right cord over the core strands on the front, and then the left cord goes over the right cord and then behind the core strands through the loop on the right. If you want a shorter tail or adjustable section, make this part shorter than 4 inches. I'm going to loosely cinch up the first cobra knot, but don't pull too hard just yet, and just get all your cords sitting pretty. From there, I'm going to continue tying cobra knots with the left going over the front and then the right going over the left cord and behind to the other side. After this second knot, you can tighten up the first cobra knots a bit more tightly and pull down slightly to close up those loops up top. I'm going to continue tying cobra knots going down the core strands for about a 2-inch section. With that part done, I'm going to do the clean finish for the cobra knots by loosening the last cobra knot and passing the right side strand through the last cobra knot and then cinching it all down tight. This is optional, of course. Now, working with the other OD green strand, I'm going to tie a cobra knot section about the same length of the first piece. With the midpoint below, I'm going to once again tie cobra knots the same way as before. And it's always good to check the length of your loop when tying cobra knots this way once you get started. Before I get to the bottom of my loop, I'm going to insert the diamond knot piece through the bottom of the loop. Going in from the back of the loop that's on the side facing away from me. From there, I'm going to finish tying my knots all the way down towards the end of the loop. You want to tie cobra knots all the way to the end, and when you get to the point where you think there's no room left, try to squeeze in one more cobra knot as this creates friction on the adjustable section. Once I get to the end, I'm again going to do the clean finish. You don't have to do that, of course. Both sides are now finished, and we're going to snip and singe our excess OD green cords. Just clip them off with your scissors and melt with the lighter and press down with the knotter's tool. Now to create the diamond knots that the mask ear loops hook onto, we're going to do what we did earlier with our digital ACU strands. I'm just going to tie a diamond knot like before and cinch it up to the top of the loop. I'm of course going to do this twice for both strands so that I have 2. Next, with my lacing needles, I'm going to attach it to one end of the cord of the diamond knot piece and feed it through the last cobra knot on one end. I'm going to do this for both strands, getting them through that cobra knot. Pull the ends all the way through so that the diamond knot is snugly sitting against the cobra knot section. And of course, do this for both sides with each of the diamond knots. With that done, I'm now going to clip off the excess strands of the diamond knots. I like to do this one at a time and be careful not to pull the clipped end through the cobra knot, as you'll have to start again if you pull it out. Now for the last part, we tie our ranger bead knot. With my orange strand, I'm going to make 2 counterclockwise loops and lay the right loop over the left. Then with the right strand, I'm going to go over, under, over and under the strands that form the loops like so. Then I'm going to bring the strand around to the right side while staying in front. And I'm going to go under the 2 strands on the right side lobe and then go through the opening in the middle. Before we tighten up the knot, I'm going to take my diamond knot and pass it through the middle of the ranger bead knot. From there, cinch up the ranger bead knot, also known as a single strand diamond knot. Get this knot as tight as possible using a marlin spike or knotter's tool, as the tightness of the knot is what's going to create friction to keep the adjustable ear saver in its correct position. Once you've gotten that knot as tight as possible, all that's left to do is snip and singe the excess orange cords. And of course, be careful not to melt the OD green strands while you're at it. So there we have it, folks, an adjustable paracord mask ear saver for your pandemic needs. A slight tip I would give to you is to make this a little smaller than you think you need it to be, as it can expand. So just make sure you don't make it too long, as it can only shrink so much, but it can expand depending on the adjustable section you made. So I hope you all found this useful and will try one out. That being said, a huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters. If you want access to exclusive tutorials as well as our Discord server, feel free to check out my Patreon page, link in the video cards as well as down below. You can join for as little as $3 a month. You can also support this channel by liking the video and commenting. Also, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out what I have to offer on the rest of my channel.